So Steve Witkoff, President Trump's special envoy for peace missions, heading to Moscow with Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law. What has the administration said about what they're hoping to accomplish in Moscow this week?
So what we know is that there's been we had that initial 28-point plan that was apparently worked out between the U.S. and Russia. Then that put the ball in Ukraine's court. So we've had successive meetings between Marco Rubio and Ukrainian officials, first in Geneva and then in the last few days in Florida, where they've been hashing out some of Ukraine's objections to the initial elements of that 28-point plan. Now, at least if you hear what the U.S. and Ukraine are saying, they've gotten to a point where the U.S. and Ukraine are in broad agreement about the current contours of the 19-point plan, reduced from 28 points. Now Steve Witkoff is taking that back to Moscow. I should say, though, that, we really don't have any indication that the two sides are any closer to bridging what is essentially their fundamental difference, which is that Russia basically wants Ukraine to be a rump state. They want caps on Ukraine, the size of Ukraine's military. They want Ukraine to essentially declare neutrality. They want NATO membership to be completely off the books. They want to take land that they occupied as part of their invasion, and also they want Ukraine to cede land that it still occupies. And Ukraine has said that is an absolute red line. There's no way it's going to be willing to do that. It's as a sovereign nation, it wants the ability to determine its own future, and it doesn't want to have to cede land that Russia captured in its invasion. So we really don't have any indication that the two sides have been able to bridge those gaps, and there's no sign, based on what we've heard out of these latest meetings, that those issues have been resolved by Ukraine. In fact, everything we have heard is that Ukraine is just saying, no, we're going to punt those thorny decisions to a later date.